Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to another episode of the Ballin in Burgundy podcast. Yeah, Victory Monday, Victory Tuesday, whenever y'all are seeing this. Commanders 2-0. Before we get started, guys, hit like and subscribe here on the channel. Head over to Instagram. Go follow all of our respective Instagrams. And guys, before we get into everything, shout out and prayers out to Nick Chubb. We're recording this Monday night. Monday Night Football is going on. He had a direct knee injury right there on the goal line against Minka Fitzpatrick. My prediction, he's out for the year. It looks bad. It was on the same knee he got surgery on a few years ago. So prayers out to 24. I hope he gets better because he's the one of, if not the best running back in the league, not named King Henry. But let's get into this, guys. Andrew and Justin couldn't make it on. Justin's got work and Andrew's got school stuff. So we got our boy Eric ESCOBAR, Commander Punk, over on Instagram. Y'all see him. He's rocking the 21 Sean Taylor jersey. Eric, what's happening?
Nothing much. Just excited after a victory, a comeback victory, no less. Like literally, these are games we would have lost last year. So yeah, nothing can't be any more than excited.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. These games we should have lost if not for some heroics. So let's start into we survived. We didn't win. We survived the trip to Mile High, and we got a little high, especially on that last sequence. But we made it out alive. We went to Denver. We won 35-33 in an absolute heart attack of a game. We were down 21-14 at halftime. We were down 21-3 at one point. And we come back and we survive. Let's get into the Sam Howell threw too many passes in the first half. He threw 30 in the first half. His final stat line, 27 of 39, 299, 7.7 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and only had 4 sacks, had a QBR rating of 108.8. Rushing wise, B-Rob went absolutely off. 18 for 87, 2 touchdowns. Sammy was here. Curtis had some touches. Sam did his thing. Receiving wise, we spread it out. Number 17, Terry McLaurin led the team 5 for 54 and a touchdown. Bates had 46. Gibson had 44. B-Rob had 2 massive grabs, each for 21 a pop. Diami had some touches. Logan Thomas had the big touchdown. He is now in concussion protocol and probably will not play next Sunday. So prayers out to him too. And Kareem Jackson, you should be suspended for that hit. Good thing you were ejected, and you will be fined thousands and thousands of dollars as you should. I'm shocked you're not suspended at this rate. Defense is where we showed up and showed out. 7 sacks. Count them. Deron Payne had a sack. Sweat had a sack and a half. Jamin Davis had a sack. Our boy Chase Young came back and said, I'm going to show y'all what's up. Had a sack and a half by himself. Casey Two had a sack. James Smith-Williams had a sack. It was an absolute survival mode. We came back. Boys, how do we feel? Eric, I'm going to start with you. Being the guest, I'm going to start with you.
Man, that D-line, not only the starters, but the depth. And we're going to have a lot of tough decisions in the offseason because, as you know, 4 of those guys you just mentioned are in the last year of their contracts. So we're going to have to figure out who's going to stay and who's going to go. Montez Sweat capitalizing on another good week, just another sack and a half. We got Chase Young, who came back from injury once again, but he absolutely was hungry. Jamin Davis, please use him in more pass rush, Commanders. That seems like where he succeeds the most. He's getting better, but I feel like pass rush, he surprisingly does well. Now, linebacker is still a problem. We have Cody Barton, who, just literally, just because he had a bunch of tackles last season doesn't mean he is going to translate that into his new team. Gleek Hudson might need to see the field as soon as possible after that.
And Jabril
Cox, yes. I hope he's progressing because we may need him. And Emmanuel Forbes, first interception, looking good. He almost botched it, but he got his first interception. Nothing to complain about there. Defense, except for a particular weak spot in the linebacker core, looking like it's back to 2024, maybe even better. This is just a scary defense to play against.
Yeah, I will say one thing before I let Chris is Percy Butler. Get your punk ass back on that bench. How the hell do you let Marvin Williams go for like 3 receptions for 122 yards? He smoked us. If we were the Hogs, they were smoking us. They were making pulled pork by himself. How the hell you let that? And then you fumble. You got no hands on the Hail Mary. Chris, you go ahead before I explode through the screen.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna just say I stopped watching the game when it was 21-3. 21-3. I felt embarrassed. I did not want to watch it, and I was like, I told my brother, I said, if they lose, I said I'm going to school, pissed off, 100%. So then we started listening to it on the radio. You know, me and him talked. We were like, okay, if they could score 2 touchdowns before halftime, that'd be nice. And you know what? They put it within 7. That defense was cooking from midway through the second quarter to the rest of the game. I'm not gonna lie. Offense looked good. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like you said, Sam Howell threw way too many passes in the first half. That should have not happened. He was 19 for 30 in the first half, I believe.
My God, yeah.
I think so.
You don't want to be calling 30 passing plays in the first half. Brian Robinson, our man, B-Rob, dog. Terrence McLaurin's that dog.
What a catch.
Dog.
Yeah.
Overall though, it was a good win. It was a nice win. I'm not gonna lie, we did survive. We may have gotten away with a PI call at the end. Don't tell anybody. But overall, it was a good win. I will take it 2-0,
Yeah.
and 2 days right before my birthday. Oh yeah.
I know you happy. Yeah. So I watched the game from pretty much kickoff to the end, and I caught up a little bit. So we had exactly 10 offensive drives that entire game. First one, Joey Sly missed the 49-yard field goal, and it was a bad snap to Cameron Cheeseman. And when I go through this, we'll talk about Cheeseman because he is going through something with these snaps. So second drive, Sly hits a 44-yard field goal to essentially end the first quarter. There was 24 seconds left. So the first quarter ends 14-7. Third drive, Sam gets sacked on third down. We have to punt. Fourth drive, we go down the field. Logan Thomas gets that touchdown, and Kareem Jackson gets ejected for that hellacious hit. And it was also, I believe, penalty on the kickoff as well. And then we had a successful 2-point conversion. That was close. It was real close. But B-Rob had just enough to graze the grass, if you will, just get over the marker. So that got us to 21-11 Denver with 1:47 in the second. Denver's next drive, Jamin Davis forces a fumble. We recover on our 46-yard line. We go down, and Joey Sly kicks a 49-yard field goal, 21-14 and a half. Second quarter, Denver's first drive. Ready for this? A Deron Payne sack.
A tackle
for loss. And a Deron Payne batted pass.
3 and out.
He was feasting on one drive, right? So we go down the field. We have that 30-yard touchdown thing of beauty to Terry McLaurin that gets us 22-21. Commanders 21-21.
21-21.
Thank you. My math was not computed. With 11:47 left, absolute he could not have thrown a more perfect pass to Terry, unless there wasn't that third DB back there. But it was a thing of beauty. Terry, caught it beautifully, got up, did his dance, and we were doing well. Next, Denver drive, interception by Emmanuel Forbes on the Denver 44. He did fumble, but I think because he was also out of bounds, that they let him keep the fumble because he had it and then he dropped it. But I think they have this weird flexible rule about if it's mostly possession, you can use the grass a little bit. It was a weird rule, it was a weird interception, but Forbes has his first on the year. We don't do so hot. Sam Howell has a fumble. He was throwing the ball and it just knocks out of his hands. It rolls backwards. We lose some yards. Joby Slide kicks a 59-yard field goal and it misses. 7:32 left in the game. And it's all tied up. Next Denver drive. Chase Young has a sack on our 28 that led them to a field goal. 24-21, 2:11 left. Third quarter ended 24-21 Denver. Our next drive, Gibson had a run from the 14 to the 50. Absolute beast of a run. And then we go down the field. B-Rob has his first touchdown of the game. 28-24, 13-25 left in the fourth. Our next drive, B-Rob has another great 15-yard run for the touchdown. And he hurdled some dude he hurdled a dude, he stick armed a dude, did his thing. We would go up 35-24, 7:11 left. Next drive, we hold Denver to a field goal with a minute 50, 35-27. Our 10th drive of the game, we go 3 and out and punt, but they only left 48 seconds left on the clock. And then the heart attack came. Cardiac arrest came. Wilson finds his receiver 11 yards down the field on the sideline. First down, they're at about the 50. He chucks this thing. We have, 5, 6 guys down there?
Mm-hmm.
They have 3, 4 receivers. It hits like the 4-yard line between everyone. And it goes up in the air and up in the air and up in the air into the hands of 89, I think. Brandon Johnson, I think is his name. Right in front of Percy Butler for the touchdown. 35-33 with 3 seconds left. They have to go for the 2-point conversion to win. They don't get it. We survived 35-33. And if you looked at that last play, there should have been some DPI on Mr. 25, Ben St. Jude's. Let's be real. If we're being honest here, because this was a tough game, this was a rough game, we could have been called for DPI. If we're being honest, we didn't thank the Lord. I think this made up for last year's Giants fumble. They didn't call the DPI when they were just caressing and molesting Curtis Samuel in the end zone. But 35-33 is your win. We are start the season undefeated, 2-0 since 2011. Heart attack.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about it?
Crazy. That's how I feel about it.
I don't know whether their nickname should be the Cardiac Commanders or the Comeback Commanders. Either way, both are appropriate. We've gotten comeback victories, but we've also had heart attacks to where we could have lost those victories.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. I'm calling us the Cardiac Comeback Commanders. I'm putting it all into one.
Yeah.
Put it all into one. The Broncos didn't play a bad game either. They played a bad game starting the second half. Russell Wilson, 18 of 32, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and we had 7 sacks on it. But he still had 107.3 passer rating. Rushing-wise, Wilson, 6 for 55. He was their leading rusher. Javonte, 12 for 44. Jaleel McLaughlin, 1 for 5, but that was his touchdown. Samaje and Burton were in there. Receiving-wise, Marvin Mims Jr., the Broncos' first pick in last year's draft was this man out of Oklahoma. 2 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown. His longest was 60 yards. Brandon Johnson, 2 for 66 and 2 touchdowns. Cortland Sutton, 5 for 66. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 25. You would have thought, based on these stats, you would have thought Denver was killing us. And they were. But not enough. Now they had 4 sacks on us. Josie Jewell had a sack. Randy Gregory had a sack. And Matt Hennigan had 2 sacks. But my God. Curl, Forrest, fine. Forbes, you're good. Butler, Fuller, got to step it up.
Got to go.
Because the 2 Marvin Mims world beaters, I think we're both on Percy Butler.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There was
It's
no
crazy. He could have potentially been the starter over Derek Forrest at one point, but
yeah. It's crazy. And there was no reason we should have allowed this game to be this close. If we won 35-27, most of us would have been like, we won. Good win. Quality win. 35-33? Heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah.
That's the way, and not to cut you guys off, but that's the way this team plays. They either A, win the game by the skin of their teeth, or B, get blown out.
Yeah.
And next week we're playing the Bills. So if we play like we're gonna experience the latter. The Bills, they looked off week 1, but they looked absolutely motivated week 2. So
Yeah, but you gotta think about it though. They kind of played an okay Raiders team. You know?
I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people were saying, but yeah, the Raiders, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, but I don't think they're going to be the absolute worst team in the league this season.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
No.
But
yeah, I mean, yeah, Bills won 38-10 over the Raiders. But yeah, if we have the Bills didn't get a sack, which is the hilarious part. They did have 2 picks, but no sacks. If we, and we'll talk about this more in our predictions later on the week, but if we were to give something right now, I think we can all agree, turnovers. We need to limit our turnovers, and we need to produce turnovers. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to do 2 things. One, this was Chase Young's stat line in his first game back, so shout out to him. A sack and a half, 7 pressures, 4 QB hurries, an 84.6 pass rush grade, and our second highest defender this past game. Absolute dog.
Oh, yeah.
Dog.
That's how to return. That's how you earn your contract extension. That's, just.
Yep.
That's the look of a hungry man.
He was hungry, all right. And 2, Cameron Cheeseman. What are these snaps? Because we're working out multiple long snappers this week. Tucker Addington and Jake McQuaid, doesn't matter. How in the hell are you this? What happened? Why are we having so many bad snaps? I know you changed up your snapping technique. What are you fixing? You had beautiful snaps last season. You were having Tressway punt these inside the 10, inside the 5, inside the 15. We can't get past the 30 on these punts. And let's be real, those 2 field goals that Sly missed, he was the reason he missed the first one. The announcer said it. Oh, bad snap by Cheeseman, missed by Joey Sly. Commanders go down the field and have no production, no points.
Yeah. Literally. How do you
That's bad.
Eric, go ahead. I know you were itching.
Like literally, like you said, he had amazing snaps last year. Like Tressway, his job was made easier. He was consistently punting within opponent's 10-yard lines. Why is he going with an experimental snap? Like if it's a coaching staff, why are they making him do this? Like literally, you think, oh, this is not working out. Perhaps we should have him go back. If it's Cameron Cheeseman, then what's the point of the experimental? Like, is it supposed to be easier on your body? Like, what's the reason for this experimental snap? Like, there's like unless there's like an actual health benefit or something like that, then there's no way he should be continuing to snap the way he's snapping. He's got to go back to basics, back to how he did it last year. Give us a chance. Like literally, these games have ended up being very close games. They could have been bigger margins of victory. Like we had 2 field goals, although the second field goal, I'll blame on Ron Rivera because why would you have Joey Slye kick a 59-yard field goal? Like
Rather than
seriously, that's just yeah. Because the punt, I'm pretty sure that would have at least been inside the 20, even with a bad snap. But come on,
Yeah.
you got
because Denver took over at like our 48-yard mark or something like that.
exactly.
It was unacceptable.
Yeah,
Chris, what are you thinking?
Oh man, honestly, I don't know what to say about Cameron Cheeseman. Last year, his snaps were absolutely perfect. Now all of a sudden, they kind of fell off. And to be honest, if we had made those 2 field goals yesterday, we would have scored 41 points. 41. That's crazy.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. Hopefully it gets better because we're most definitely going to need it when we're going up against a team like Buffalo. Get into that later on this week though.
Yep. So this is oh, go ahead.
But yeah, other than that, I really got no words.
So this is what Ron Rivera said to Ben Standig of The Athletic, and I'll put the quote up on screen when I do my editing. So what Ben asked basically on what with the Cameron Cheeseman snaps is, well, it's a concern. This is what Ron said. Well, it's more than a concern than anything else. So we'll just have to continue with Cameron's snap, and until something unfortunately something happens, then we'll decide from there. But now we're handling it. We're putting the ball through the upright for the most part, which is the most important, and I believe it's something that he's gonna work out. He's working out. What does Ron always love to say? We have enough with the guys in our room. We have enough in this building.
Yeah.
We drafted this kid in 2021. We wasted a 6th-round pick on him.
Better yet, we gave up a 5th-round pick in the 2022 draft to get that pick and 2 other picks, and we drafted him in the 6th round.
Yeah.
I don't understand this team sometimes.
Like, do we need a long snapper? Yes. We could have drafted a kicker. You know who we could have drafted instead of Cheeseman? Evan McPherson. Bengals kicker out of my Florida Gators.
Bruh.
So,
although, like, to be fair, Joey Slye hasn't been bad per se. Like, yeah, he did have that stretch, but we could have had a younger kicker. That could have been our kicker for the next
6 years,
decade and a half.
Yeah,
maybe decade. Yeah,
because the kicker's contract, you can pay him $1.2 million a year, if that, for 6 years, and you could sign him to like a 5-year, $15 million contract.
Yeah, especially if he played like he has been playing. Like, yeah, he would have been worth the money. But that's someone who can get us points. So yeah,
was $6 million guaranteed with incentives. Like it's not hard. It's not, not that hard to do. Oh, and one other point: free agency. You know one who got signed earlier today?
Rizzer.
Dalton Risner, guard to the Minnesota Vikings. You want to know what his deal is?
1 year, $4 million.
We literally just restructured Leno's contract to ensure $6 million in cap space. You're telling me we couldn't use a guard?
Well, guard's fine. It's more the tackles that are the biggest concern. But
Oh,
I
I
think
don't-
guard's okay. Yeah.
I don't disagree, but with Cosme being injury ridden and he went out for a few plays during the Denver game because he got cramps or pulled a hammy or took a shit in his pants or something.
Jackson.
You're saying that we couldn't use a quality guard that wouldn't help out the tackles versus a young second round pick in Cosme? I think I would rather have the depth and be insured than not do it and look where we are. Look at the Orlando Brown situation. They paid Lyle Collins last season and they picked up Orlando Brown this offseason. And Lyle Collins is out on free agency.
Yep. I don't understand this team sometimes. I really don't.
Here's the other thing. Charles Leno from this game is, I think, our highest rated offensive lineman.
How?
You're joking, right? Tell me you're joking.
Because remember, Gates had a penalty and then he went out for a few games. So Strongberg came in, but he didn't do really much. Wiley doesn't ever get talked about because he's normally giving up a sack. And unless it was Sadiq Charles, I don't think it was, I believe Charles Leno was the highest rated offensive lineman. Let me take a look.
Wow. That's
Oh, I take that back. It was Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles was the highest graded offensive lineman for our team.
I'm really glad he is stepping up. I am really glad he is stepping up. Just after so many years, will he finally be able to live his potential? And now he's finally starting to get to that point where, okay, now I understand why we drafted him.
Yep. If I could find the PFF.
I definitely wasn't Trent Williams' replacement, that's for sure. But he's turned out to be a pretty good guard so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
No, it really is. It really is.
Okay. Why don't you want to give me what I'm looking for? So let's see. Yeah, so Zeke Charles is the 13th ranked guard out of 72. Cosme is 16th. Leno's the 30th ranked tackle out of 69, and Wiley's the 40th ranked tackle.
Wow.
Gates is the 14th ranked center out of 34.
Wow. I feel like he's not even that good, to be honest.
I think he's just on the older
I think he's middle of the road. I think he's middle of the road. Guards, I'm not really surprised by. I feel like that's our strong suit on the offensive line. Yeah. Wiley at 30, really? There's over 30 tackles worse than him?
Mm-hmm. Here's the fun thing for our defense, right? So Forbes is the 83rd ranked corner out of 96. So I can deal with that because he's new and everything.
Yeah.
He has a 48.6 grade on defense and a 28 in the run defense. All right. He's not a run stuffing DB. I don't expect him to be great.
Yeah.
Guess who's our worst rated defensive player?
Cody Barton?
Yep. 73rd ranked linebacker out of 75.
He's better than two linebackers. Okay.
He has a 42.0 defensive ranking with a 36.1 in run defense. You want to know what Jamin Davis is?
What?
23rd out of 75.
God.
He's in the top 30%.
Actually not bad. But
it's not.
Could be better, but it's definitely not terrible.
It's not bad at all. Guess what? We are only playing Barton and Forrest. Drew White's not playing. He's still injured. Dejon Harris isn't playing. Jabril Cox isn't playing. Khaleke Hudson isn't playing. David Mayo ain't even playing like that.
You know what's bad? We might actually prefer Mayo starting. That's how you know it's bad.
You better not say that around Justin. He will come and shit in your
Yeah,
front
don't
yard.
say that around Justin now. Justin might, go
Justin will
off.
shit in your front yard. So I'm looking at PFF, and I'm gonna screenshot this for later, and I will put this on the edit. So from PFF, we are the 13th overall ranked team, 15th ranked offense. All right, I can live with that. That's what I expected. We want to be middle of the pack, maybe just a little bit better, and we will win some games, right?
Yeah.
7th ranked defense, beautiful.
Good.
What is our defense ranked at?
7th,
Oh, that's
so
nice.
top 10. Guess
Yeah.
where special teams is?
Bottom.
32nd.
Wow.
The
Good call.
worst special teams in the league.
And the only bright side is Tressway.
Tressway? Only thing. Tressway is, they don't even give a position rank on punters like that.
Mhm.
And I don't even see Cameron Cheeseman on PFF. But if I had to guess, he'd be in the lower 20s.
He might be even lower. He might be even lower. He could potentially, like, it would be funny if he were 33rd. That
Yeah.
was just a long snapper that just came in for a snap or two and did better.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't expect much out of week 2, but if you're the linebacker you signed, your 25-year-old linebacker that you signed in free agency, is the 2nd or 3rd worst in the league. And you could have had guys like Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah. You could have had guys like Nick Bolton.
Micah Parsons.
You could have traded up for a Micah Parsons.
Could have signed Drew Tranquil in free agency.
Drew Tranquil. You could have maybe signed a Willie Gay. Yeah. List could go. TJ Edwards.
List goes on and on and on.
Tremaine Edmonds, Rashawn Evans, Alex Singleton. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Hell, we have so many edge rushers. You probably could convert Chase Cervantes to a linebacker, and they do better than Ballin.
Yeah. I wouldn't suggest them putting Shaka Tony at linebacker, but then he got himself suspended for a season, so it didn't work.
Yeah, he got himself suspended for a season, but yet the Lions wide receiver only got 6 games.
I think because Shaka, there was actual proof on Shaka, and there was like something dealt with. I think Jamison only went on it was some weird thing, but yeah.
Something stupid.
It's stupid. But yeah, that should wrap things up. Yeah, like you can tell on our faces that we're not happy about things because we are nowhere near a perfect defense. We have holes to fill. We have shoes to fill. We have things to fix, and we should fix them by next Sunday. Because that's the Bills. That's at home. They're 1-1, but they look beatable. But they're not. They're not the Cardinals. They're beatable. They're very beatable, but not bottom tier.
Although Cardinals have played a lot better, so I don't know if I can.
Yeah, the Cardinals, for whatever reason, are going to be the worst team in the league, but somehow are going to put up 30 points a game. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, they was up 28-0 on Giants and then blew it.
Yeah, blew like Arizona and Atlanta both start with A, so I don't know what to tell you. And they're both birds.
To be fair, Arizona's at least trying to tank, so maybe they're just trying to be like, oh, we can be a really good team, but we need a piece or two to really make sure that we could potentially be a good team. Like, it's crazy. They actually have played good the first 2 weeks and then just tanked. So I think they're actually being a little kind of smart with this. They just have to make sure they don't accidentally win games.
They had Kyler Murray. They'd be 2-0 right now.
Probably. I'll give you that
if
one.
If they had DeAndre Hopkins, they'd probably be 2-0. Any one of those.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. But yeah, guys, that'll wrap things up here. Like I said, we survived. We're 2-0. Eric, can't thank you enough for coming on, especially on such short notice.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man, guys. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe here on the video and over on Instagram. Over 60% of our viewers and our our viewers and our likers aren't subscribed to the channel. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. That gets us better. That makes us better. That makes us feel better and gives you guys better quality content every single week. Head over to Instagram. Same thing. Go follow us, like, share with your friends. Go over to TikTok, share, like, share with your, follow us over there. Do the whole 9. Go down the description. Go follow me, Chris, Eric, Justin, Andrew. Go follow Rio, Tony, Sanchez, and Watching the Daily, our sponsors. We can't thank them enough. And of course, go follow our commanders. Gotta show the support without that left hand up. It's left in the frame. My camera flips. Guys, that'll wrap things up. Oh, and by the way, Broncos Country, you died. But Commanders Country, let's ride. Guys, that's gonna wrap things up. Don't forget to stay balling, and we'll see y'all out there.
Yo, Broncos Country, let's ride, baby.
Broncos Country, let's ride. Broncos Country, let's ride. Broncos Country, let's ride.